Welcome everyone to this course on powerful writing to gain influence, avoid miscommunication, and hence save costs to yourself, your business, or your organization. If you're watching this video, you're already ahead of the curve because you have identified the huge value of writing skills to your professional aspirations, and as you will learn during the course, the lessons learned from this course are really general. So there's a quote attributed to Oscar Wilde. If you cannot write well, you cannot think well. If you cannot think well, others will do your thinking for you. Essentially, that means that writing your thoughts down puts a mirror to your thinking, and this reinforces a cycle of clarifying your thought process and how best to present to your audience. That is, if you do not wish to confuse them. So if you do not wish to confuse your readership, this course is for you. You could be a scientist who wishes to present their findings accurately, or a business analyst who should clearly formulate business requirements and pitch them powerfully, or a teacher writing learning manuals or assignment briefs so that student output aligns with the learning outcomes. Perhaps you are a student who has done a wonderful project but now wishes to impress their thesis examiner. Without writing clearly, you cannot convince your examiner how good a job you have done. You could be a job applicant who wishes to stand out of the crowd. An impactful application letter and appropriately worded CV earns you a foot through that door. If you like to voice your opinion, strong writing skills can help you become an opinion writer for a popular newspaper and reach mass audiences. Probably the only writing discipline somewhat in clash with the writing ethic in this course is story writing. Because story writing is a lot about building and maintaining suspense, while this course is about making things crystal clear as early as possible. However, an ability to write clearly and unambiguously can be handy in parts of your stories where you do not want any doubt. So is it just a matter of knowing English? Not really. Birmingham Skills Investment Plan 2016 to 2026 quotes a survey of employers that effective writing skills are relatively hard to find in Birmingham. Notice we are talking about the second largest British city here. Likewise, the National Commission of Writing reports that costs of providing employee writing training may be as high as $3.1 billion each year. The scale of that statistic sums up both the magnitude of deficiency as well as its importance. So what is this course going to be about? Well, much you already know, meaning thereby that the course assumes a decent command of English grammar and writing. The goal is to avoid ambiguity and achieve clarity in writing. Therefore, it will give you great satisfaction when you write well enough to communicate effectively. Essentially, this course will instill a work ethic that well laid out principles, when rigorously applied, yield impactful writing. So what are the characteristics of clear writing? First off, it must be correct. So before writing, check your facts that you wish to state. For example, the results or analysis should be correct. Read the background literature to ensure that you are posing your facts the way they must be. Next, clear writing is precise. Precision means to state exactly what your results or analysis mean. This is much more difficult than giving simply a rough idea. Try to give a complete picture. So if you wish to report experimental results, state all the relevant conditions and parameters that design your experiments. Your first write-up almost always misses those details. The information must present logically and orderly with appropriate sections, headings, and diagrams. Critically, the information should flow naturally, where each concept must be explained before using it in a discussion. This usually takes several revisions of the working draft and even a second eye, because it can be hard to see gaps in one's own explanation. The first draft is normally longer than it should be. Work to remove sentences and words that simply repeat what was already said and use efficient descriptions. There is indeed a trade-off between completeness and conciseness, and the challenge is to hit that sweet spot as per your requirements. A clear piece of writing is easily readable. It avoids needlessly long and complex sentences and avoids acronyms and jargons except when appropriate and if explained first. And finally, it is important to be consistent, to be clear. While in fiction it is common to use different terms to state the same, in technical writing, changing terms obstructs clarity, especially if the readers are not extremely familiar with the topic of your writing. So what is the route to all that perfection? Well, it is simply revise, revise, and revise until you're satisfied. This means several drafts, each proofread carefully. I know people who produce up to 1,000 revised drafts prior to submitting them for evaluation or publication. That's a lot of work, but it's down to what level of excellence you wish to achieve. Of course, with practice, as good writing principles become your second nature, the required effort will decrease. During this course, we will cover both grammatical elements and composition. Grammar will cover mostly clauses and sentence forming, whereas composition will focus at how to form clear sentences, paragraphs, sections, and documents that deliver your message clearly. Finally, there's a bit of study advice. How best to take this course is down to your study style. However, for a course like this, it will immensely benefit if you discuss your takeaway lessons with a study partner or in small groups. Even if you cannot physically meet, use online forums. One great idea will be to leave your comments or example attempts underneath this video and subsequent videos, where others can learn from your work and provide feedback on your work. Finally, this is going to be a long series of short videos, each video being roughly 5 to 10 minutes long. That is long enough to accompany your cup of coffee, but not taxing your busy schedules. The videos will appear once every week or so. If you wish to be notified immediately, press subscribe underneath this video. You need to sign into Google or YouTube first. After you press subscribe, a bell icon will appear. Press that and you're all set. Next up, we begin with our first cup of impactful writing. Writing simple and direct sentences. However, before I let you go, I recommend a useful read from Harvard Business Review. The link to this article is given in the description beneath this video that you're watching. So please take a read, enjoy the rest of the week, and see you in the next video.